All right, y'all, we're live and it's Texas Dad back here with Matt, and we're going to hit an article right now.
Yep.
That's we were just talking to y'all about
Look at the camera.
Yeah, look at the camera. Hello. We were talking about the turkey deal. You know, we put out the video about the turkey-less Thanksgiving, and some people were like, "Oh, well, you know, we just got to eat different stuff." And the point is here's what you got to think regarding supply chain. When you have a turkey supply, right, and then you have to eat something else, now there's a strain on the supply chain in another area. So people still need to eat. And just because the solution is never to eat something different, because then if everyone or a greater majority of people move to that food source, now you're putting strain on that sector. So that's like, that was the whole intention. I don't even like turkey. Okay?
No, I don't.
No. We eat turkey, but I don't really like it. I prefer chicken. I prefer the Muscovy.
Somebody commented and they were like, you spend all day trying to make turkey taste like chicken. And
it like, never does. It kind of tastes, I'm not a turkey fan, but now the way grandma used to make it, I appreciate it. I appreciate a lot of things the way grandma used to do it.
If you could keep the moisture in it, you're good. Most turkey I've tasted the last several Thanksgivings, it's really just dry.
So here's the deal, y'all. Anyway. This is an LA Times article that bounced off of Yahoo News. I saw it on Yahoo News, but it's actually an LA Times article.
Okay.
And this is October 3rd. So this is a very new article, and that's what makes this very significant. So that's why I wanted to cover it, and we'll cover it real quick before you all eat your dinner.
Thank you very much, A, for the donation.
Oh, thank you for the super chat. That's awesome. A. Menlo Park, California. After proliferating globally. I bet you all didn't know this. This is going to be some new breaking news, and there's a fly. I almost feel like Obama. I'm waiting for that thing to land on my face.
I know.
Okay.
Or Brandon. Either
one. After proliferating globally, a historic wave of avian flu has entered Southern California, where it is worrying farmers and bird lovers. Dude, this fly.
I know.
And could add to complications with supply chain and food prices. Already, poultry operations have had to euthanize domestic flocks of chickens and turkeys, while thousands of wild birds have also died. Wildlife experts say they are seeing a wave of dying birds moving south, already as far as Irvine as the fall migration begins. Authorities, so here's an appeal to authority. Authorities describe the surge as unprecedented in scope, breadth, and lethality. In North America alone, an estimated 50 million birds have succumbed, which experts say is probably a vast undercount. So it's always authorities and experts and white lab coats and broad generalities, you know. And though government officials are primarily concerned about poultry farms, the epidemic has struck wild birds too, from waterfowl to raptors and vultures. In late August, one New Jersey park had to close its trails to hikers. There were too many dead vultures on the ground. Never heard about that one. Nope. Elsewhere, other animals are getting infected and dying. Okay, now check this out, y'all. In Maine, an elevated number of gray and harbor seal deaths have been attributed to the disease.
Okay, wait. We were just talking about the bird flu, and now we're talking about seals. So,
and there's in
the same article.
Yeah, and there's tons of epidemiologists and the guys that do the germ stuff. Their specific title is escaping me, but there's been many of these doctors that are experts in this area that say that this stuff cannot cross species. You know what I mean? Because of all different kinds of reasons. And the only way that this stuff crosses species is if it's done in a lab and snipped up and stitched back together. So, but here they're claiming that the avian flu killed seals, right? And while in Florida, officials believe a bottlenose dolphin succumbed to the virus. It's also been detected in skunks and foxes. So, as you can see, either
skunks and foxes.
Yeah.
And
Humans.
it's being detected.
Yeah. Well, it's being, they're assuming, they're assuming. Now, here's the other thing. I mean, we all know from like gut biome that, and from terrain theory and all these different things, that we have lots of different viruses all the times. And as long as we're healthy, we're unaffected. Yeah, we're unaffected by them. We're carrying a lot of these things. You know what I mean? Humans are not thought to be at risk for infection, which, if it's crossing over to dolphins and everything else, I don't see why you would think that or even make that statement. Humans are not thought to be at risk for infection, but the fact the flu has spread to some mammals concerns experts, given that humans are mammals. Wow. Thanks for connecting the dots there. That's really kind of very dumbed down, but for now, domesticated and wild birds are the focus of attention, i.e. your food.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we're really just at the beginning of this highly pathogenic avian influenza outbreak, said Dr. Maurice Pietsky, an expert in poultry health and food safety epidemiology. That was the word I was trying to think of earlier. At UC Davis. He noted that millions of birds are just beginning their southward migration from summer feeding grounds in the Arctic.
Okay.
The Arctic, the Arctic that already melted?
Yeah.
So the Arctic is like Florida, so they're migrating from Florida back to Florida.
To Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
A place where they've been mingling and communing with species from across the globe. Sorry, flat earthers. Some disease models show that we are going to get hammered this fall.
With what?
Pietsky said, noting it could add stresses to the food supply, which is already being clobbered by high corn and soy prices. The food required to keep the millions of chickens and turkeys in poultry farms alive.
And this is why these big, nasty chicken houses that you see everywhere
are the capos, the concrete.
Absolutely not sustainable. And they're absolutely disgusting.
They're nasty.
And they're disgusting.
I mean, and the other thing about these mega chicken houses and all this stuff, which they're not worried about those, but they're all only capable and possible by massive amounts of antibiotics. So they're not affected because these chickens are already heavily medicated. You know what I mean? And they're after the holistically raised birds that aren't
the backyard flocks.
They're after the backyard flocks. Yeah. And then you're going to, this is why you have to register your backyard flock, because this incredible plague of avian, this one fly is just going to keep.
Testing you.
It's going to test my mettle.
Yeah.
There are lots of virus in the environment, he said. In the Central Valley, we have 600,000 resident waterfowl. In a few months, that number will be 6 million. The outbreak, which researchers call by its initialism, that's another new word. I've never heard of that. Initialism? HPAI is relatively novel to this part of this world. Throughout most...
Interesting wording.
Yeah, interesting.
This world.
Yeah, relatively novel to this part of this world. This part of this world. Is there more than one world? Okay. Throughout most of history, HPAI would appear only sporadically and locally, according to Brian Richards, emerging disease coordinator with the United States Geological Survey's National Wildlife Health Center. Wow. The United States Geological Survey's National Wildlife Health Center. Isn't there like an acrostic for that or something? When it did appear, it would fizzle out fast. It was kind of one and done phenomenon, he said. It'd kill a lot of birds and then it'd be gone. But in 1996, the story changed. Richard said. In China's usual suspects and usual locations. In China's Guangdong province, the virus mutated. Oh my goodness. Wow. They need new script writers, y'all, because the script, this can't be like Back to the Future 12. I already know that Marty is going to hit his head on the toilet and invent the flux capacitor. All right. And you can't do that in Back to the Future 12. Nobody's going to watch. And everyone's going to be like, it's Back to the Future 12. No. Wow. Okay. Wow. The Guangdong province, the virus mutated and it never went away. Then in 2005, the disease spilled back to waterfowl, primarily bar-headed geese.
Oh, good.
From domestic poultry, causing substantial mortality among both wild and domestic birds. This was a really big deal, Richard said, and it persisted in the environment, although largely relegated to Asia. But in 2014 and 15, the disease appeared for the first time in North America. Dun, dun, dun. By the time it subsided, 40 million birds had died, causing an estimated 3 billion.
AKA, they killed 40 million birds. Yeah.
Estimated $3 billion in damages. Then in early 2021, it showed up in Europe, where both wild and domestic birds died en masse. That fall, it appeared in North America. Thousands of seabirds, gannets, puffins, and murrays died along the Avian Peninsula in Canada's Newfoundland province. Soon it spread down the east coast of the United States and then began marching west across the continent. By summer, it had reached California. In August, a poultry farm in Fresno was infected. All the birds were euthanized. So there you go.
Good job.
Big old kick in the old supply chain.
Yep.
Then it appeared in turkey flocks in, oh my goodness, Tulamon and Sacramento counties. Since then, it has exploded across much of the state. The virus has been detected in domestic birds in 7 counties. For wild birds, the count is at 19. So is that 19 counties or 19 wild birds? We don't know. It's poorly written, y'all. Not that I'm a good reader. Dr. Rebecca Dewar, California-based veterinarian for International Bird Rescue, said wildlife refuge centers are now in the unattainable position of having to turn away sick birds lest they infect the other birds they are caring for. She said testing is extremely expensive. There are no rapid antigen avian flu tests like there are for the what you call it, Mababa thing.
The C word.
The C word. Which I think you can say, but I'm not sure, so I'm not going to say it.
You know, they would love to deplatform us again.
She's bracing for what the fall migration may bring and what the disease could do to endangered birds, such as the California condor. There are already so few of them, she said. A disease like this could be catastrophic.
Oh, no.
Colony birds are another concern, she said. Just as 10,000s of murrays and gannets were wiped out in Canada, wildlife officials fear such outbreaks along the Pacific. Experts believe the disease is being spread by wild birds. And though commercial, the whole wild bird thing, this is the setup to get you to register your birds because you're going to kill the world. You're going to kill all the other birds, and it's going to be all your fault. And that's why you got to put the thing on your face and all that stuff. And it's the same old stinky, stanky, rewritten story, part 15. Okay. And though commercial poultry farms have been following biosecurity measures, I keep our code words. You know how we have to speak in code words? Well, there's lots of code words like sustainability and biosecurity measures for months now. Spraying down trucks and workers. Oh, with what? Polyethylene glycol? That's going to be great. Oh, yummy. Spray me down with some polyethylene
really good for
glycol.
the environment.
Before they enter and after they leave, they are calling on backyard birders to also take caution. Ding, ding, ding.
Birders?
Backyard birders. That's you. That's me. That's us. That's we. Thank you for playing. It's a really bad. I would have never guessed that this article was going there. It's unfortunately so predictable. And now we're going to get some sob story. Okay.
Oh, no.
Deanna Lynn, you always got to do the emotional mumbo jumbo manipulation.
Yep.
Deanna Lynn, who owns 4 chickens in Menlo Park, was unaware of the outbreak as her 4 hens clucked and scratched.
No way. Seriously, it's 4 hens?
Across her yard last week. She also feeds a murder of resident crows, which saved one of her hens from a hawk attack a few years ago. Now she's watching for signs of infection. Look at her stinking t-shirt she's wearing.
Ew, gross.
Virtue signal. Both in her own flock and among the wild birds that visit her yard. Signs of the disease include sudden death, respiratory distress, clear discharge from the eyes, nose, or mouth, lethargy, disinterest in food or water, swelling of the eyes, head, wattles, or combs. This sounds like a bad Pfizer reaction thing. Take note. That's interesting. Correlation. Is that a correlation fallacy? A discolored or bruised comb, wattles or legs, and stumbling or falling. I think Brandon has all those symptoms.
Yeah.
Whoa, check that out. Well, maybe we've solved the riddle.
You got the bird flu. There you go. Permanently.
State officials are asking poultry owners with potentially exposed flocks
to kill them all.
in which animals show signs of illness or sudden death to call California Department of Food and Agriculture Sick Bird Hotline, 866-922-BIRD. As Lynn hand-fed her 2 new pullet chickens, Gertie, a cream leg bard, and Gretel, an Americana, she shook her head, imagining what it could take to protect them from a disease that is passed from bird to bird by droppings and contaminated surfaces. I remember something else that could live on contaminated surfaces for hours. That's not going to be easy, she said. End of article.
Okay, but
stop the insanity.
Just like the article about not burning firewood and everything, there is no solution in this. Absolutely no solution. So they didn't. Okay, so you gave us the problem. So what's the solution? What do we do? Kill all the birds in the world?
Yeah, the solution is
or what?
Register your stuff.
Pretty much. I mean, there's no solution. There's not feed this thing
there's
or
no solution. It's
use this certain medication or nothing. It's just they're all dying and it's so terrible, you know?
Yeah, so there's no solution. This is just telling you what's coming and what you can expect and get ready. And this is just all part of the programming. And they always got a telegraph to tell you what they're going to do before they do it. So that's what's going on here.
And it's kind of beautiful when they do that, and then it just gives people that actually are based in reality. I mean, it's very easy. I mean, they give you this and you're like, okay, cool, big deal. I mean, I like seeing all this. I mean, okay, cool, they're killing millions of birds. I mean, I don't buy chicken from the store and I don't buy poultry or anything really, because we're pretty self-sufficient now.
But the moral of this story is if you do want to eat chicken meat and eggs, get your birds now, right?
Yeah.
You know, and we were part of the chicken frenzy. That was 2001.
Yeah.
When we panic bought 100 laying hens in the middle of the night. And was that 2020? 2020. So you can go back and watch our 100.
We'll just go ahead and tell them it's like buried under hundreds of videos.
Well, yeah, it's buried back in 2020.
Yeah.
So if you want to check that out, you can check it out. It was fun.
Yeah.
And it was wild and it was crazy. And so history repeats itself, y'all.
And we just, with all of our backyard flocks and everything, I think we all have to stop. For many years, we weren't really on it for like saving our eggs and trying to reproduce our own birds. We were just like, we'll just rely on every year to go buy a couple new birds from Tractor Supply.
And this is
wherever.
A major issue with Cornish cross and these other sea monster type hybrids, because if you're not able to buy them, there goes your meat bird.
Well, that's what I always thought.
Production.
Every time I saw the homesteader go out and do it, which is perfectly fine if you do that and you go out and buy sea monsters, that's awesome. a million times better than buying nasty old gross chicken from the store. It is, but it's not
sustainable.
Sustainable.
Yeah.
They can't reproduce. They can't lay eggs. They can't do anything. All they do is they grow up and they get fat, and then you butcher them.
And that's why, our solution to that are Muscovy ducks. I mean, they get gigantic,
huge.
They're incredibly efficient on their food conversion. They're foragers. They're breeding. Now, it takes them a couple years to get into it, but I'll give you a story.
Yeah.
We gave a male and female to Josh and Mandy, our friends. We gave them a male and female, and in 2 years from one male and one female, they had 98 Muscovy.
Nuts.
So once they go broody and become good mamas,
which they are awesome.
They will they can do 2 batches a year.
Yeah. All day long.
And so, our solution is Muscovy.
Yeah, Muscovy ducks. And chickens, we've been beefing up our backyard flock lately. Just going around to other homesteaders and trading birds and buying birds from them and supporting our local homesteaders around here, and just stocking up, getting our flock nice and bulked up for the winter, so then we don't have to buy eggs from the grocery store and all that type of stuff that according to all of this stuff is sounding like there's going to be way less of that this winter, with them eradicating these birds and everything like that. So anyway, just wanted to bring this story to y'all's attention. We're not saying this to make y'all get scared or anything like that. Just, to have it in your head.
Yeah, it's to let you know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
They roll out this Avian this every year. Now now they're rolling it out twice this year, because they rolled it out earlier this year at the spring. They're rolling it out again. They're using biosecurity measures. What kind of language is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's some massive mind control going on. So we just wanted to bring you this article. Yeah. And so we got some really cool announcements. We're going to be on a couple, 2 or 3. We're going to be on 3 podcasts this month. Very
exciting.
And so what we'll be doing is we'll be cross-posting those. So once we have the audio video, we'll be posting them here on our channel. So stay tuned to that. Very excited. We got some awesome people that we're going to be sharing some information with, and then we're going to be sharing their information with y'all. So stay tuned for that. That'll be sometime this month. And by the time we get the audio video process, some of that stuff will probably land in November. Our honey's back in stock, so if you want it, get it while it lasts.
Yep.
Check out our shirt shop, our merch shop. And there was one other thing.
The meetup?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yep. So next Saturday, we're going to be having a meetup to meet our subscribers at Bob Wells Nursery at Sorella Farms in Mineola.
Yep. And it's not only just going to be our meetup. It's actually a fall festival. And we're just going to be there as well.
So they're going to have stuff for the family. They're going to have live music. Awesome. They have a beautiful facility.
Beautiful.
It's very well done.
Very nice.
They are a great family. It's a family-owned business. The whole family works together. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And we love supporting Bob Wells Nursery. Yeah. And we look forward to seeing all y'all there, all 80,000 of you. So I don't know where you're all going to park.
I don't know.
But it's exciting to think about where, okay, so if you guys carpool 4 to a car, that would be 20,000 cars. So we'll work on the parking, all right? Yeah. And we expect to see y'all there. There's no cover charge, all right? It's free. It's free of charge. Come on, come all.
Yeah.
But, that's all we got for tonight. Anything else, Matt?
Nope, not that I know of. I'm trying to think. Nope. Everybody's saying they're going to start buying masks for their chickens. So
awesome. Great idea. Mask and diapers.
Yep, mask and diapers.
Go Brandon.
Yep, let's go Brandon. So anyway, thank y'all for all just jumping on here tonight. And we are now officially not shadow banned for this second.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
YouTube's been very kind to us lately.
Thank you, benevolent overlords.
It's the calm before the storm type of thing.
If it pleases the technocrats, might I have more digital porridge?
Pretty much. So anyway.
Well, yeah, I promise you, they're spraying all kinds of
Mom
cool
was
stuff.
saying, who thinks that they're just spraying
Yeah, who thinks they're just spraying this stuff on
in
everybody?
the sky? Oh yeah, that's totally.
They've never done that before.
Never.
Even though we can show you Agent Orange and everything else, they've been spraying on everybody.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all.
We will see you.
Well, we're gonna have a breakfast for dinner.
We are going to have a breakfast for dinner.
We're having breakfast dinner.
All right. See y'all later.
Have a great night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.